What's up, everyone? Episode 28 of the Calm Down, It's Fine podcast. Thank you so much for being with us this long, almost 30 episodes. Can't believe it. It's been fun. It's been real. Get ready for an amazing episode with the guys. David.
Hello.
Harrison.
Yeah.
Whoa, why are you so down?
Because he's looking.
Yeah.
Justina. Hey. And Cameron. We're here. We're ready. We're fired up. Ready to get after it. Enjoy this episode of Calm Down, It's Fine.
Do it!
What?
So we're fired up. So just do it.
I didn't know I was missing something.
No, he's fired up.
The Shia LaBeouf.
All right, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Cool. What's up, Finites?
Comrade.
You're so fine. Finites, comrades, unflappables. I'll be honest. You just cut that right off.
I'll be honest.
Let's get down to,
No,
get down to
away.
business.
I didn't think
Done.
unflappable. Like, remember when she sent that in and we were like mocking it hard?
I thought it was perfect.
Stuck with
I was
it.
mocking it. And dude, it's really like it's stuck.
Stay unflappable, man. I've only heard the song one time since we heard that, though.
I forgot about that, yeah.
And it's when you sang it at your youth rally.
Oh. Well, unintentional.
Worth it. Oh man.
Unintentions. You know what's something frustrating?
Yes.
But it's frustrating.
So deer hunting,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Never been.
Really?
Yeah,
No.
never been.
Wow.
What?
Never been hunting ever.
When this episode comes out, deer season will be over, gun season. But I was hunting this morning,
Okay.
and, you know, when you have to go to work the next day, it's always like, is this worth it? Because the chances of you killing a bruiser, I'm not shooting. I honestly don't really eat deer. So
I love it. I think it's delicious.
So you
I
just
give it to people like him.
kill people for sport. I mean, you kill deer
Yep.
for sport.
And that. and
what,
that.
No,
Nimrod?
that's what Harry did in
Nimrod,
Israel.
Mighty Hunter.
So I'm not the biggest fan of deer, and when I was in my house, like I didn't do the cooking, so it would get cooked. I'd eat it or whatever. But since I'm in my house, and my wife doesn't really like it, and I don't really like it, I just don't shoot anything unless it's a buck. Like you see that one there. That was a while ago. That one was a few years ago. I have another one at my dad's house. I just don't shoot unless it's a trophy. I just don't. So the chances of me going out and shooting something is very slim because it's got to be a big buck for me because I just don't feel like dealing with
Hauling out a body.
hauling out a body. You just skinning it, gutting it, throwing it up in my backyard in town.
to not eat it.
Right. And it's just like, whatever. So I go out this morning. I'm sitting there freezing my tail off. And I don't have a tail. Which is also...
That's why it's going.
frozen off.
Yep.
So it's
It's
just...
frozen off. That cold.
just gone. So Meredith, Mackenzie are also hunting. So we're in a little group text. And we're just going back and forth. And we're talking about... it.
Are your notifications
Meredith...
silent?
Meredith always, for some reason, I'm not going to say she's Dad's favorite.
But close to it. Always in the blind with him.
Meredith
But he would say that. Cameron won't say it, but his dad.
Meredith is a little Gary. Like,
Gary.
she should have been the preacher.
I know that, dude.
She should have been the man.
She preaches at teen camp stuff all the
Dude,
time.
she has the
She
greatest...
preaches at New Man at all
She has, like,
time.
the greatest testimonies and whatever, and I'm just sitting there, like, you know, like, we'll be singing, and then, you know, song, in between songs, and then
Yep.
she'll give it, like, I was reading my Bible
Yeah,
this
she always
morning.
says,
It's
you
like,
know what
okay.
I was thinking the other day?
Okay.
I'm like, let me get my notebook.
Okay. All right. But I mean, she does a good job, whatever. But, so my point is, Dad she's just always been like Dad. Like, her personality's like Dad. She's a go-getter like Dad, whatever. She's just a shaker, a mover. She gets the stuff done. So she's always hunted with Dad, and Dad is always like, Mackenzie doesn't want to hunt by herself. She wants to hunt with Dad, always. Meredith wants to hunt by herself. So Meredith, wherever we've hunted, we've had different spots throughout the years. Dad has always, like, set up Meredith's stand. And it's always like a really good stand. Like, it's always so good. And so we have a hunting land that we rent with a couple other families, and we've done it for like 18 years. It's been a long time. But out there, Meredith has, it's called the Weed Field. And it's just like a slaughter field, dude. Like it's
like the best place.
Yeah, it's just overlooks. It's like cut over behind you. It's a buddy stand. There's cut over, woods, and then there's like a wheat field, where it's just brush. It looks like a monster buck would go through there. And deer just constantly pass through. So that's Meredith's stand. And then that stand, she doesn't really hunt that stand anymore. But then we get another place to hunt, and there's Meredith's stand. And it's like she killed a humongous buck there, like 2 years ago, humongous buck. And there's always big bucks walking by there. And if anyone's ever like, can I hunt that? She's like, I mean, she doesn't say no. You don't. She's never said like you can't hunt it, but it's like it's her stand. You just don't hunt it. It's just known. And so we're hunting this morning, and I'm texting Kinsey, and I'm like, isn't it like I went out there this other place, and I put her stand up with that, and Dad is up in the stand putting the burlap around it and getting it all set up for her. And he's like, yeah, she should be able to be fine in here. And I'm like, could I hunt this stand?
Where's my birthright?
Because this is a really nice stand. They've got a trail camera out, and the deer are just passing by just all night, just passing. Meanwhile, where I put my camera in my stand, dude, literally raccoons and squirrels. Yeah. And I'm like, maybe I could. And I again, it's funny. I'm the guy. Dad is setting up a stand for his daughter. Mm-hmm. I understand it. Kinsey doesn't want to hunt by herself. She wants to hunt with Dad. It makes sense. I get it. But the joke is still there. So me and Kinsey and Meredith are texting this morning, and me and Kinsey are like, yeah, Meredith's stand, Daddy's girl. Like, oh, this is my stand. She's like, it just happens. When Dad says, this is your stand, I'm not going to say, no, it's not my stand. And we're texting. Dad isn't hunting this morning because he has a meeting at 7:30. So he gets up this morning, he's whatever, we are texting each other freezing, not seeing anything, and Dad sends in the group text, he's holding this really nice buck.
Did he kill it?
Yes, he's standing there with this really nice buck, and we're like, immediately, what? What are you doing? Where are you? What happened?
Out back?
He got up, walked outside with his hunting laundry. He wasn't even dressed yet. He had his hunting laundry that he had in the dryer, and you put it in a special bag. He walks out. It's like 6:45, and he sees a deer 100 yards away. 100 yards from that, he sees a buck. He sees a doe, and then 100 yards behind it is a buck, 200 yards away. So Dad looks at it. He goes to his truck. It's locked. He walks inside, gets the keys, walks back outside.
Still there.
Unlocks his truck. It's still there. Gets his gun. Puts a bullet in the gun. Raises the gun up. The deer's looking right at him. 200 yards. He's like, drops it.
Wow.
And he sends us a picture, and he's on his way to work. How?
That's hilarious.
How does that happen?
Wow.
It's a dad thing. We're all out there just, he's rolling out of bed, and it's a really nice buck.
Yeah, it is.
Really nice buck. And I'm like, it's probably, it's like that. He's like,
Cam inadvertently saying that's a really nice buck.
I'm just saying, you would shoot that. So I just don't understand. I'm just like, are you kidding me? And this morning,
I've never been hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not that I don't like shooting guns, because I really do like shooting guns. But I don't like getting up really early. I don't like sitting out in the cold.
Night hunting,
doing nothing.
Night hunting.
Just sitting there staring at some trees.
Yeah, I definitely more I think I've hunted probably every year of my life, but that's only because my cousin is super into it. Every year
of his life,
including when I came out of the womb. Yeah. Anyway, no. The years that I can remember. Anyway, but that's
how far back can you remember? What's your first memory?
This podcast.
It was 10th grade, and I was taking physics.
Yeah, 10th grade.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, but that's just because he's really into it, and he asked me if I want to go, and I said yeah. But I like shooting. I like marksmanship. I subscribe to guns and ammo. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like shooting. You like if
Love
it's
guns.
hey, we're taking a
Yeah.
day to go out and shoot at
Dude.
the range and stuff. I
Dude,
will go out
you
there. I'll
killed
spend,
it on the youth rally.
I'll spend hours out there. I love shooting. It's so much fun. I just
What
can't
if
do
The simulator,
It's
dude.
gun simulator.
The gun simulator at my youth rally.
Yeah,
You killed it,
I don't
Shooting.
know if I killed it.
dude. You were. You were like out of that group of guys. You were the best one, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure you beat everyone. I beat you one time in something, but
My
you beat me
finger
like
hurt.
twice.
That's all I remember. is
You
my
were
finger
killing
hurt.
it, dude. Like you were a really good shot. And for
Oh.
someone who doesn't shoot all the time, I'm serious. Like, don't you
Oh.
guys remember that? Or you
was
took
the-
Tyler home.
I remember doing it.
Yeah,
I just don't
that's
remember
the-
how
Yeah.
well.
So
I
for our
did.
youth rally, we had a gun simulator.
it was really cool.
Like
really
it's
cool.
it's
very
like a
cool.
16-foot trailer. The guy comes. It's like legit. You walk in this trailer and it's like the length of the trailer. There's like a screen at the end. You have like a real weight Glock with a laser on it. It's not a real Glock, but it's like it feels everything is real except the bullets. But when you shoot, it shows up on the screen real time, and it like exactly what you do. Like if you're holding your gun and you're going like this, and it teaches you how to shoot, and you can see where it goes. So that guy was at
Yeah,
our
the
youth rally.
only thing
He's
you
coming
can't-
next year too. So that was I'm
The only
excited.
thing
Really
you
cool.
don't get, realistically wise, is a recoil.
right.
In the Army, we have something similar to that, but it's pneumatic, and they're all based off of the actual, like there's the M250 cal,
Right.
the 249 saw, the 240 machine gun, M4, 320 grenade, but it's all there's air hoses connected to them to simulate the recoil.
Oh,
but it's the
okay.
same. There's this thing in the end when the simulated shot happens. It's an infrared laser. It points at the screen, and so that's how you practice different scenarios, and then you're supposed to qualify in that before you go to the range. That way, the Army's like, oh, they're good. You know?
Right,
Not
right,
wasting
yeah.
bullets.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, I like shooting targets. I'll go out and shoot targets and stuff. My brother's got like a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and so we'll go out and we'll go shooting. Brother Ken at our church has got a farm, and then he's got like a whole range. That
The
he
special happy farm.
built. It's a chicken farm,
Mm.
and
So no.
he's got So and on his property, because he's got like 60 something acres or something like that. So on his property, he put like he got like a bunch of tractor trailer tires and built like a backstop and like set up all these.
Yeah.
And then he set up like there's like different checkpoints for like distances and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So we'll go out there and I just have a blast. I love shooting.
You've been out to our church shooting range, or have you seen it?
Mm-mm.
We have a 300-yard shooting range. We have 14 acres, so it's really cool. Like all the way down. Dad has killed a deer from his church office, right out of his office on like it was like opening day, and he was at the church doing something, and the doe walked out at the like back end of the property.
Before the barn thing was there.
No, you can still shoot. It's on off to the side. The barn,
Oh,
like
right.
the gym.
The
like-
gym.
The gym's off to the side. You can still
The barn
shoot straight
thing.
down.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a all right. I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah, he said
Yeah,
Dad-
there's a bunch of metal targets.
Yeah,
Dad
yeah,
was
yeah.
so it was like 4 or 5 years ago, and Mom signed us up, our family, to clean the church on opening day, and so like, well, we didn't have to clean on opening day, but it ended up
You
to where
got to.
Mom
You got
called
to
us and was like, hey, no one's
got
cleaned
to.
the church, and I signed our family up to do it on Saturday. I signed our family up to do it, and it's Saturday now. So we hunted in the morning, and Dad was so ticked off because we had to do it. We had to clean it at night. And so we're all out there cleaning the church, and he could have been out there hunting. He's vacuuming his office. He's like, two things. He's like, why did she sign us up to clean the church? And number two, I'm the pastor. Why do I have to clean the church?
Yeah.
Like he said, he's having a pity party, and he has two big windows. Like our whole church, we have glass doors everywhere. Everything's glass. His office has a big glass, paneled door, and his two windows are big glass, above reproach. So then he's vacuuming. And he looks out his back window, and there's a deer, and he's like, I wonder if I could hit that. It was like 250 yards. And this was a.
So this is like a common occurrence for your
So
shit.
today it was with a 450 he shot, or a 350, which 200 yards is a reach. I think this shot was around 200 also, but it was with a shotgun, and he literally just put it above its back. So that was a shot, and he dropped it. I think he hit it in the spine.
Druid at Adventure.
Druid Adventure. That's what I preached on at that youth rally.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Druid Adventure. And I preached on the arrows, getting hit with an arrow. Ahab hated Micaiah. He said, I hate him, but Micaiah's words were the only ones that would save him. And a lot of times in our lives.
Tell him the truth.
Yeah, I mean, he hated everyone.
Right.
The 400 prophets who gave him the wrong truth, he took their advice, but he hated the only truth that could have saved him. And he went on his merry way, and he tried to take steps to, he disguised himself. He's like, it's not going to happen like he said it. But then there's
the
always
nameless aimless. The nameless aimless archer.
The nameless aimless archer shot a hab through the guild.
I think the last time I went shooting, Zach, my brother, had built a rifle.
Built? Mm-hmm. Oh, like a kit?
Mm-hmm. And so he built a rifle, and he needed to zero in the sights. So we went out there and put a handful of rounds down range so that he could get the sights on his rifle zeroed in. And it was a good time.
Best shot I ever made in my life. I was at the church. We were working on the church. We were in our garage for 5 years. Right. And we bought our church property, and there was a existing building on it. But we added the wings to it. We added the back. We built the gym, whatever. So we were renovating the gym or the actual church, and there were fox out there. Foxes. There was foxes out there. And I had this old single-shot 22 that just happened to be in Dad's truck, and I would shoot at these foxes, just plink at them, and this gun was always, it was off. Like, it did not work. You couldn't, like 50 yards, you couldn't. Yeah, dude, you couldn't hit a target.
Yeah.
It was just a shot in the wind. Like, it's just whatever. So there was these fox out there. I had shot at them so much, they would just, like, not even, there's like, for real? So, dude, this fox is out there, and I'm like, I'm just going to send one down there and try, and it's just like an open field with woods behind it. So I get the gun out, and I'm just standing free-handed, 75 yards, and it's a 22. Mind you, like a 22, people who know guns, that's not a heavy round.
Nope.
It's windy out. I shoot at this fox. It looks at me, swiper, no swipe.
Yeah.
It takes off. It takes.
Did it have a bandana on?
It had a bandana, red bandana. Dude, it takes off running across this field, and I was like, I knew it had like 50 yards of our field to run, and I was nonchalant, like it's a single shot.
Right.
It's old brown, whatever. I just pop another bullet in. I wasn't even trying because I knew I wasn't gonna hit it. Dude, I literally just put it in front of it and up and went, and that fox was running and went. And I started screaming, dude. I was like, and it dropped. And I was like, you're kidding me! Oh my goodness! I ran out and said, Dad, I killed the fox!
Maybe it dropped out of pity.
Yeah, maybe it ran into the bullet.
You ran outside. You ran inside, and
it was
like an outfielder just trying to catch it.
I have never hit anything with that gun. It was my grandfather's old gun that he kept in his shop, and we just threw it. It just never hit anything with it. I didn't even aim. It was just like pointing and just an adventure. And I shot that thing. I have a picture somewhere. I have to find that. I mean, I was so excited. I was like, I think I was 17.
I went shooting with Michael Shane once, and the guy who owned the handgun set it up. Had the target sitting out there, loaded it. He's like, there it is. He's like, who wants to go first? And Michael Shane's like, yeah, I'll go first. And dude, I'm not even joking. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. He literally walks up, turns the safety off. He walks up, he goes, bullseye, sets it down, walks off.
Michael Shane?
Yeah, acted like he's been doing it his entire life. And I went, what just happened? And then he looks at me, he goes, I have no idea. He's like, I don't know how I did that. He literally just walked up, was like, walks away, and I was like, bro, that was the toughest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Wow. He's like
just one hand, just
you can't miss if you turn it sideways.
It's like you tell somebody who doesn't shoot ever. It's like the trick is turn it sideways and pretty much upside down. That's what you want to do.
Yeah,
pretty much.
You
can't miss it. It's self-leveling.
It's self-leveling.
Yeah. We didn't even plan on talking about guns. I know if I thought about it, I could think of some more stories about guns and shooting and stuff. I'm sure you could too. What's the best shot you ever made? Who did you make it on?
You guys have heard of Bin-laden, right?
Dude, Mad props, bro.
Now the best one that and this was like totally by the grace
Whose
of God.
brain matter did you displace?
That is none of your business.
You have to ask the question.
That is
Whose
the
wall did you paint?
information that
As I
is.
say, that's workshop talk, and he only talks about it with Harry,
What's
the
your
spy.
What's your
Yes.
KD IRL
In COD.
in real
I had to
life?
think about it. Like, what is IRL? Like, that's for the internet.
Isn't that kill
Anyway,
death ratio?
That's
Kill
just so.
death,
kill
but
death, in real
IRL
life,
is
yeah.
in
That's
real
really
life.
funny that he knew what KD meant, but not IRL.
Yeah.
It was,
Isn't that like a computer
I
thing?
play Call of Duty. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. I don't know. It was when I was like 16.
Make sure you look the listeners directly in the eye and talk directly to their ears.
It was when I was, I think, 16 or 17, and I was hunting with my said cousin from earlier, and we were at the farm that we just lost last
Were
year.
we talking about him earlier, or was that unrecorded?
I was on. It was.
Was it?
We're talking about. Yeah, I
talking
said
about
it.
Tyler?
We're talking. Yeah, I was talking because
I thought that was unrecorded.
no, this
It
was recorded.
recorded.
Huh?
Oh, it was because I said that because you said you don't really like. I was like I like shooting more than hunting. I just go because my cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
It's
Ty-
same.
yeah,
same,
Tyler.
same
I don't
guy.
think you said his name when you said that.
Tyler. His name was Tyler. Anyway, we went hunting at the farm that that my grandfather used
Where
to.
did the turkey come from?
My grandfather used to lease, but then the guy that owned it, it's a whole deal. Anyway, we don't have the rights anymore. We tilled that ground for like 40 years, but not anymore. Anyway, so they hunted it for the same amount of time.
What's that? That's what they told you.
That's what they told us. Anyway, we had a very totally unfruitful night. We'd been there and he's really into it. So we were there for like 4 hours. You know, when Tyler says we're going hunting, that means that we're going to be there for quite some
no
time.
joke, a professional guide.
Seriously, he in every
like,
way. He has
Boost
sponsors
guide.
and everything.
He doesn't wear all his stuff. Hook,
Sika.
Like
Sika,
the other
all-
guy who came in
Nomad.
before?
sort
No,
of,
no,
yeah.
no, no,
So,
different.
he doesn't have any sponsorships or anything. Like I think he used to do that. That was Todd. Todd used to do
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
Tyler is he does. Have you ever heard of Hook? Like the hats.
Yeah,
Like the
okay.
Yeah.
He gets tons of clothes. He
I
does.
I use his
he
discount
does
to get half
sponsored.
off.
He sponsored.
The uncultured swine I am, I always called it Huck.
I thought it was until last year. I had no
and then
idea.
like Sitka, which is like the most expensive hunting clothes you can buy.
Mhm.
Like he gets
Other
it all
than
free.
solid
and
gold
he gives all those
ephods.
guys tours like guided hunts. So he's great.
Ghillie suit. Military grade ghillie suit.
Shout out
dude.
Tyler. Go ahead.
No, he's really into it. Anyway, it was just whatever. And it was muzzleloader season in Maryland, and so we're walking back to the truck, and I mean this farm. It's a big farm. It's almost 300 acres, and so we're walking back, and then he's like, dude, and then up there, it was a fairly large doe, but it was the only thing we've seen all night. It was like I think we to the rangefinder, it was either 150 or 160 yards. I lean up against a tree with the Thompson Center muzzleloader, and I'm like, all right, behind the shoulder blade. I go up like a half click, and then boom, and it runs like 20 yards and drops.
Oh my god.
It was like, and then went up there. I'm like, man, I wonder if I gut shot. I'm like freaking out. And then I get up there, perfect, totally perfect.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I think my luckiest shot, I was playing basketball the other day. And oh, wait, that's not what we're talking about.
Dude, the best shot I ever saw, my cousin Ross. It was one of those Thanksgivings where we were shooting squirrels. I think we had crop damage permit for deer on the farm that we were on. It was a farmer and he had the crop damage. So you can shoot like 10 deer during the season, like from September to May. And so we were using those on Thanksgiving instead of shooting squirrels. We were just going ahead and just shooting some deer for the farmer or whatever.
Mhm.
And then he wanted the meat, so that worked out. But he also I don't know. I don't know if I can even talk about shooting a fox.
Why
You already
can't you?
did.
Huh?
You already did.
I know. I don't know if I can tell that story. I don't think you're allowed to shoot fox.
Yeah, you can.
What's going to
Okay.
happen?
I think I look up the laws.
You have varmint season.
We're gonna talk about that later. We're looking up if that's
Yeah,
actually
You don't get in
true or
trouble
not.
for shooting fox?
No. You have varmint. No, this is varmint.
He
season.
was. You said you told
I don't know if it
swiper. You told him swiper no swiping. He didn't listen.
Yeah. He was
Yeah.
a thief.
That's what happened.
Anyways, so there
He
was
didn't give
eating the
consent.
guy. They were
Thieving.
eating the guy's chickens, and he had these crop damage permits. And
Mhm.
yeah, he actually does have he had the varmint tags
It's
and whatever.
farming
Yeah.
control. Yeah.
Anyways, we were in the back of a
God
truck.
How
gave
long
you.
ago was
God
this?
gave you
Years.
dominion, Cam.
Years?
Remember
I'm
that.
pretty
God
sure
gave you
statute of
dominion.
limitations. I think
Tell that
it's
to the
been
game
long
one.
enough.
God gave me
Dude,
dominion.
God gave
It
you
was
dominion. You're
getting
fine.
dark, and we had a scoped like 450, like which is just like a pistol round for a gun, and it's a scope. And he's in the back of the truck, and we're driving, and there's a fox like 40, 50 yards away, and it's getting dark, but he could see the outline of the fox, and we're in the truck, and we're driving down the lane, and he is on the back of the truck, and this fox is running, and he shoots it and drops it.
That's crazy.
Dude, I've never seen a shot like that in my life. And I'm like, surely you did not
That's
shoot
like-
that. I was in the
Wow,
back of the
that's
truck
like
with him.
Dustin level.
Dude, I was in the back of the truck with him, and it was like gloom, 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 and it was like, and then Fox is running, and he had a scope. You couldn't even see through the scope. You couldn't see, like you could not.
'Cause
put
it's
the
shaking
scope-
so much,
You couldn't
yeah.
see, and
Yeah.
it was dark.
And-
It was like dusk.
anything of
And he goes,
magnification. Like
"Pow!"
the darker it gets, the harder
And it drops,
it's,
dude.
it's crazy.
Drops.
So
Amazing.
now the question is, because when moments like that happen, I literally, I judge the moment by the reaction afterwards.
Yeah.
We were
like-
all going crazy.
See, like all going crazy, like is fine, but like when you pull something like that off,
Mhm.
even if it's purely by
You have
accident,
to just
And
take
and
it.
you're
just
just
like-
whatever.
yeah, Dad, I do that all the
I'm
time.
pretty sure he was sort of like that. He was like, yeah,
Yeah, so-
It's no big deal. I
All
did
the
it
time,
this
dude.
morning when I got
I say
up.
it in basketball all the time. Somebody hits like a game-winning shot, and they're walking off. They're like, "Whoa, yeah!" And I'm like, "Hey, man, act like you've been here before."
Yeah.
Act like you've
They're
been here.
losing
Calm
their mind.
down.
They're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, come on now. But yeah, I always judge the moments, but like it could be. You know how many times I do something purely by accident? And
Every
then
day
I'm
of my
just like-
life.
and I'm like, Yeah.
Absolutely.
there was
Like,
a.
at
Fake
any
till you
time.
make
Have
it.
you ever caught a fly?
Oh yeah, in your hand.
You're just like, you're just like,
You feel like a straight up
Yeah.
ninja. You feel like a ninja, but you
Dude,
can't let
actually-
everybody else know.
dude,
it's
you,
falling out.
you
I
have
s-
to like finish it off big. You just
Yeah.
smash it so hard to where it's there's no like sign it was even a thing. You're just like,
Oh no, I do it. If I catch it,
I'm more of like
I look.
chopsticks. I catch it.
Yeah.
If I catch it,
there's like,
Learn that from the
Is that movie,
Mossad. Yeah.
if I catch it, like I'll walk to like the window or the door or whatever, and then I just look at the people and I just. Mhm.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's stuff. I always try to play off stuff like I'm the man, even if I'm freaking out on the inside
yeah.
all the time. There was guys on YouTube that did trick shots because like
Right,
dude perfect does it.
Yeah, yeah.
And when they do it, obviously they've been doing it for hours.
Yeah,
right?
good
They
job,
finally get it, and they're like, "Whoa, yeah, we finally got it!" Right?
No, they do it. They've been doing it the first try.
It's
for
first
years.
try
Well-
this whole time.
well,
Have you
there's-
seen their YouTube videos?
There was
It's
another
just
guy-
Every one.
There's another shooting stiff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
shooting stiff.
I
Things and
am not
stuff-
the
stuff
hunter
and things.
type. My granddad was big into hunting and then never got the chance to do it. He would end up taking Pastor Clark out hunting before he even got saved. And it was funny that my grandmom would tell my mom, like before hunting season, she would gather all the kids and says, "All right, kids, say goodbye to your granddad. Say goodbye to your dad. You won't see him for a long time." Meanwhile, they're all like bawling and crying. So that was
Terrible- terrible
literally, that was him and Pastor Clark would go out hunting and wherever they just went to Indiana.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Done that for
Indiana
years.
or else. Anyway, he would take Brother Charlie when he was old whippersnapper. But as far as shot wise would go, it wasn't with a real gun, but we were playing paintball, and I was behind a wooden pallet, and somebody was. My back was to this pallet. There's a guy behind me shooting at the pallet that I'm at, and I'm like, okay, I don't know how I'm gonna get this guy, and then so I get the barrel of the paintball gun. And I like just stick it through the slit of the paintball gun. Like, so I just stick it between the slit of the pallet, and it's behind my shoulder. I don't even know where it's at. I'm like, he's probably around this area. Just pop 3 paintballs, and then he yells, "I'm out!"
This is
And he's behind cover too. I'm like, I don't know how I did it. Maybe I just scared him. But
Blind fire is against the rules.
this is
no, I just
his untold story from Israel. This is what he's doing.
blind fired some shots over my
I know
shoulder.
I've already referenced the Mossad, but he's totally working for them.
There was
that round. I got like 6 people out.
I
was
like
pretty
playing
proud.
paintball. I do like playing paintball. Like, I'm not the hunter type either. Like I can't.
My worst shot was Cam's bachelor party. I'm like, dude, this guns are garbage, and he's literally trudging through snow, and
I
we
know.
can't
He's
somehow shoot
literally-
him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's slow walking through 3 feet of
I'm
snow.
like, I'm
and
trying to pick this guy, literally just pulling the trigger as fast as I can.
after
I'm
we spent 2.5 hours trying to convince him to actually do it.
Escobar literally jury rigged all the guns to. It was
Shoot 3
impossible
feet
for
to
them
the
to
left.
shoot straight.
Yeah.
It's like
No. But I played paintball last year. We were playing because I try to play a couple times in the fall time every year. I haven't gotten
Keep
up
the
there
skill up.
yet. Well, I enjoy playing, and
Yeah.
it's the same thing where like I play, and as soon as I'm done playing, I'm like, I need to like go buy a gun,
Right.
get like the stuff, and then I'm just
get a
like,
ghillie suit, yeah.
and then I
Yeah.
realize how much money it costs.
Yeah,
like,
I'm that way at work. You know, I do my job. Like that was
Were-
cool. I should buy tools. And then like,
Were
nah.
you at our church with the youth rally when Ethan brought out not Ethan Seth brought out that his
airsoft gun?
Yeah.
That thing is
Dude,
It's
awesome.
gnarly.
actually pierce your
Yeah.
soul.
Yeah.
That thing
Like
was
when
dope.
you get shot with that, it's like what's it a spike to the heart of a wooden spike to the heart of a vampire. Like
Yeah.
it takes your soul, your spirit,
Oh,
and your
it's
flesh
shot, like-
it'll
straight to hell.
it'll leave a well.
That's what I like
But-
watching the guy. There's the guy on YouTube kicking Mustang, and like he's a sniper, and
Yeah.
he makes his own ghillie suits, and then he plays airsoft, and he just destroys.
Yeah, dude. The best
people.
shot, one of the best shots I ever made in airsoft. I used to be in airsoft like hardcore, and I had an M14 sniper rifle. It was you had to cock it every time, but it was spring loaded. But it was like it was a good gun. It wasn't automatic or anything. But I was on top of a shed, and one of my friends, we were playing at my house, and my friend came around the corner, and he was probably like 60 yards.
Mhm.
And he comes around the corner, sees me on top of the shed, and he turns around, but he doesn't turn the corner. He just takes off straight. And so I'm like, it's airsoft. 60 yards is a shot, especially with the single,
Yeah.
whatever. So I just put it on the back of his head, and I pull the trigger, and the bullet goes, and it like goes up.
Mm-hmm.
You know how it
Yeah.
and it was like
it's
a
so
20
light. It's
it was the heavier grain bullet, but it went up, and it lost its like it wasn't
lost its
carrying
momentum,
itself.
yeah.
Yes, it lost its momentum. It was like, and then it lost its momentum and just kept floating, and it literally hit it right in the back of the head, and he was
That's funny.
and he was just like. Yeah, and I was like, I got you, but it didn't. The bullet didn't swerve. It didn't anything.
Yeah.
It literally just went right, perfect. And I was like, that is insane. Also, one of my friends, my grandparents' house, they had a over their garage. They had a room. You had to access to the outside, big steps. You know what I mean? And so we would hide in there for airsoft. And I am hiding in there with my gun sticking right by the door, and the door was cracked. So literally people had to walk up the steps and look in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I guess my plan was just to shoot him point blank with my sniper rifle.
smart.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know what I was thinking, but this guy from
That's
Australia,
called
Mitchell
barrel
Smith,
stuffing in Call of Duty.
Mitchell
Panic
Mitchell
knife.
Smith, Mitchell Smith, he is a missionary kid. He was staying with us for 2 weeks, and they didn't have any airsoft guns in Australia. Like they had nothing. Like no, it's like they don't have guns at all. So he was fascinated with our airsoft guns, and he was like, all he wanted to do was play airsoft. And he was older than me, so I was a teenager. He was older than me, but we're playing search and destroy. I go up there with my sniper rifle, sit down, crack the door, put a block in front of it so it's only this much showing. He comes up the steps and turns in. Dude, my barrel is like when he turns, we had goggles, not helmets.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the side, he turns the corner, and my gun is right here. And I just went,
Oh my
right
goodness,
in
dude.
his face.
Oh my god.
man.
Goggles, stop it.
He had goggles, but I shot him right in the
the
head,
forehead?
dude.
Like
He
the-
had
like
the
Goliath.
biggest
Oh,
cherry.
Did it sunk in the forehead?
And after I shot him, like I heard him come up the steps, and I was like, "This is gonna kill him."
But I'm doing it
That's how-
anyway.
that's how
And then he
Goliath
was like,
felt.
and I mean, dude, it was point blank, and I pulled the trigger. I was just like,
That's the scene from Shrek when Lord Farquaad says, "Some of you may die, but that's a price I'm willing to pay."
I just destroyed him.
Yeah,
I think he fell down the steps. Like, ah!
Yeah, no, as any human being would if they got shot point blank with. So
Not Harry.
not Harry.
No.
No, so last year
America wins.
last year we were playing paintball, and what we do is we usually go with a couple guys.
I
and then
apologize to him.
if there's like a group
Why?
of people,
He's still
he
wearing
did
it.
it to
Get
himself.
your head out of the way.
Yeah,
Why is your head so big?
Be smarter.
Moron.
Yeah, dodge it.
crouch. So
He didn't.
So we did so we were playing last year, and when we go we usually get like a group of people to go, and then we'll find like another group of people and be like, hey, do you mind if we just play with you guys? So bigger games, more people, it's fun. So there's this guy, and he's out there with his son, and he's like, yeah, I haven't played in a while. And I go, okay, that's fine. And he opens up this case. He pulls out his paintball gun, and it looks like an M16.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Well, we're playing, and he's on the opposite team. And 3 games in a row.
Just destroys everybody.
No, not just destroys everybody. But the first game, he drills me, like, because the mask covers, like, right above your eyebrows. He drills me dead center of the forehead, right above the mask.
Aww.
Right? First game, I'm like, ow! Right? I'm out. Ah, man, that stings. Second game, I'm talking pinpoint accuracy, the exact same spot. And I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, dude, this really hurts, man. And I'm like, whatever. Third game, this man hits me in the exact same spot again. I was like, all right, I'm about to fight this grown man in front of his son. I was like, this dude, 3 games in a row, almost like he was doing it on purpose. It's just like boom, boom, boom. Dude, it hurt. I look like a unicorn, bro. It hurt
like
so bad.
Unicorn, dude.
It hurt so bad. Ugh.
Did you was he ex-military or what?
He was wearing like fatigue style jumper, and then he had like his paintball gun looked like I don't know if he was military or if he just likes military-esque stuff.
Yeah, some people get really into all of that, like I don't know if you can call it whatever. Anyway, but yeah, there's a term for people who are really into all the like the army gear.
Stolen valor.
Well, no. But kind of, yeah.
Posers.
Dude, we were playing Nerf. Last time we did a Nerf war in the church. We let so we had like the teens, and then you have the 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds, and maybe some 10-year-olds that wanted to participate. And I'm like, all right, listen, you guys can come and play as long as you don't whine, because inevitably somebody gets shot in the eye, and they act like kids, not teen, whatever. And so we have a variety of, we have Nerf guns, right, Harry? We have like the Nerf guns, and we have like the ones that shoot the foam balls. You know what I mean? What do you guys? You guys are so discreet. Everyone's watching you.
They don't know what it says.
They can't see what it says.
Huh? Here, pass it down.
Pass it down. No.
Don't tell the teacher.
Stupid. Anyways. So
I thought it was pretty
we
funny.
have a variety of different. We have like the machine guns that shoot the foam balls. We've got the regular Nerf guns. We have the ones that shoot the little rubber balls, whatever.
Yeah. Those things hurt.
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
What,
they
from this
are
past youth
surprised.
rally?
You would think
Not
that, like,
youth rally. It was
okay,
just a youth event.
How is that
come
a
here, Missy.
children's
Come here,
toy?
baby.
Well, you would think that.
Did Kaz bring his like mega gun thing he has or what?
I don't know.
I've yet to see that in action.
He did
What a
like 2 or
waste of
3
a gift.
Nerf gun wars ago.
Probably has it like mounted in his.
Well, the thing,
somewhere.
honestly, it's basically cheating because you cannot fight it. It's got like a shield.
It's fun when you play like Capture the Fort and you have like 2 guys in the fort with that, and then like 15 people that are saying, I go, Missy.
I didn't get hit, and it's just bouncing off their head.
Anyways, so
Dude didn't even touch me.
I am. We're standing up, and I have said all night, headshots count. Some kids that got shot in the eye and they were upset or whatever.
It's part of life.
You know?
And
should've-
I'm
should've
literally
blinked.
up, and I'm saying listen, I don't want to hear anybody cry if you get shot in the eye or get shot in the head. And at that exact moment, we're not playing. Somebody had one of those guns that shoots the rubber balls.
Did you get shot in the eye?
Dude, while I'm saying it, somebody shot me from like across the room, but it went right into my unblinked eye. Dude. Every
time I blink,
the first
I
word
see
that
the
came
Nerf
through my
head.
mind was, I can't even, like, I almost was like, who did that? Ah! Like,
But you
breaking.
can't, 'cause you're
Right, I
literally
literally
telling
just
people.
said, but it hurt. I was out the whole game. I was like sitting down. I couldn't even open my eyes. I was just like,
You're just putting an eye patch on.
yeah, I couldn't put an eye patch. But my point was, it was, I was just yelling at everyone, don't be a baby. And then I get whacked.
Dude, sidetrack, rabbit trail. I learned this year why pirates wore eye patches.
So that when they fight at night.
Yep.
Yeah, I learned that like this year.
I learned that off the Nate Bargatze podcast. Nate Lamb podcast.
What?
I learned that on the Nate Lamb podcast. I think that's
fighting?
probably where you learned it too.
It might be.
I learned
Because
that
they would go into the
so
under the deck and they
if
would
they
flip
would-
it up because it was already
if they'd be-
acclimated to the dark.
Fighting like another pirate ship or something like that, they'd be fighting. And then if you go
You're on the deck.
if you go
in the
under
light.
deck and it's dark, like instead of waiting for your eyes to adjust from
One's
light
already
to dark,
adjusted.
No,
they
miss
just flip the eye patch up.
Yeah.
And the eye they or flip
Just
it
slide
over.
the eye patch over.
Yeah, and it was so like that eye's
It's like,
that
Dude,
eye's
it's
already
like your little
dilated.
night vision right there.
Yo,
Turn on your
night
night
vision.
vision goggles.
The original night vision.
Yeah, I learned that. I was like blown away by that. I was like, I thought it was a style
I
choice.
thought it was an aesthetic.
No, I read that in a pirate book
Did
when I was 12.
Cool. So let's get into the topic.
Now, what about the people
you
who
wanna do Florida Man
legitimately
first?
Sure. Hit
only
a
had one eye, though?
They're cheating. Liars. Well, it's a lot
also found
scarier
out-
to actually see that than to see a patch.
I also
So,
found out why they wore hooks.
Because they didn't have hands.
Hey.
wait, really? I
You-
thought it was
You're
for
telling me they
pull-ups.
didn't just have like the little cup thing you have as a kid?
Some of them, they're attachments,
So they could
swap them in and out.
say, I like David. She does like David.
I am chosen.
Oh,
Flip you over.
Some tension.
You pull the.
I just need
Put it
some
Florida Man.
tension. I just need some tension. Hit me with a Florida man.
All right. Florida man tried to kill his ex-girlfriend after his marriage proposal was rejected.
I get it.
That's fair. That is totally
You know what?
fair.
That's you know what? I'm on his side.
what I've always wondered.
Where do
too-
I sign the petition?
Yeah.
Free this man.
I've always wondered this, especially in recent times.
Well,
what do
me
you
and-
do with that? And you get there and you're like, hey, you think things are going great. You're like, this is it. This is the time. And then
Oh, yeah?
you ask, and then they're
Oh,
like,
you nervous about that?
oh yeah.
What's gonna
Generally,
happen?
if you get to that point, like you've had the conversation already, like,
Yeah, let's
Hey.
be real.
But the thing is that,
do you, Missy? What are you doing?
but people do say no.
Okay, good.
So
Yeah,
it
yeah,
just makes you wonder,
But
like,
you
what in
have
the
to be
world?
enough self-aware to realize, like when me and my wife,
Nobody
when
asks
I proposed to her,
blindly.
we had already talked about getting married and we were
Right.
going to get married and all this stuff. Like it was just she just didn't know when I was going to ask her. But
Yeah.
like if she would have said no, it would like.
It
I would
would've
have talked to her
sh-
parents. Her
shocked you.
parents were both like,
Yeah.
she, absolutely at 100% on board. And it was, I knew, like, her mom was literally telling me, like, she keeps asking, she keeps saying, I wonder if he's going to, like, I wonder when he's going to do it. Like, so I knew.
Exactly. It's one of those things
I mean,
where
how
like,
could you not?
if you're in a relationship and you haven't discussed like marriage
Yeah.
with the person that you might potentially be marrying one
It
day,
doesn't just come out of the blue. Like,
yeah, like
what?
like then you're probably not ready to ask her to marry you because like that's nobody asks that blindly.
Yeah.
No.
You know what I mean? Now I have seen on YouTube
Dude,
guys
that's
getting
the
rejected,
worst.
That sounds terrible.
and it's the worst possible thing that I can imagine. Also makes me laugh when I watch it on YouTube,
Especially like at stadiums.
You know, it's not God's timing.
like in front of people.
Yeah, at stadiums where they're like there and she's
Crackhead
like,
dog.
"Are you kidding?" Or like she like slaps him, or like she just
Runs away.
or he drops the ring and it's like gone
Well, there was one I saw on
You can't
YouTube that was
recover
really
from that.
was
on
really
the
cool.
bridge.
They were on like the roof of this building,
Yeah.
and because there was like a time where I was just looking up wedding proposals.
Oh, how to do it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I did the same thing.
yeah, and there was a
I did
guy.
like the whole. I looked up so many, watched so many, and I'm sitting there like,
Well, I've also found because
You'll get there.
I was gonna propose. I also found that like I genuinely like to see these things. Like some of these are like
Yeah, yeah.
really cool, especially
Yeah.
when you like do it like neat. So this one guy is having like a dinner party like with his friends and
Yep.
family on this roof of this building, and he's like he jumps up on like the ledge of the roof and he's like, I got an announcement to make. And he like says her name and he's like, I love you so much. And then he looks at his best friend and he's like, toss it to me. And the guy tosses the ring box and he's like, oh, and he falls off of the roof. and she is screaming.
But it's
and she runs to the edge of the roof, and
he's kneeling.
He's laying in one of those like the big balloon things
Oh
that
my
catches people.
goodness!
And on the ground, like around it, it says, "Will you marry me?" And because she thought he fell off the roof and was dead. So she runs over and looks over, and he's like in one of the big inflatable
Oh my
things.
goodness!
And I was like, "That's
terrible.
the smoothest."
well, that
I would say smooth,
there's a lot
but
of room. Like there is room for error in that. What if you miss and then it says, "Will you marry me?" But then there's your smushed body on
You're
the
on the
ground.
sidewalk, and
Yeah, that's not gonna,
he's like right beside the bouncing.
like what do you do? It's a that you want to talk about bittersweet? That's bittersweet.
Can I
to
keep
be
the
able to
ring,
set
or-
that up though,
Yeah.
to be able to set that up to where she didn't see it though,
yeah.
like because it's how do you like just driving up to if he had to have set it up after the dinner party
the
started
fact
I feel
because
like if I was on the roof, I'd be looking over the ledge a lot.
David,
like,
how did
wow,
you
that's so
propose
cool.
again? I forget.
don't know.
how did I
When? How?
when
I mean, it doesn't matter when.
oh yeah I proposed so this is an interesting thing. I figured I'm only going to do it once, so I might as well
Might as well
be crazy
I mean,
about
maybe
it.
I have a couple ideas that I kept back just in case
Oh, I mean, like I found
for another one.
She said she wasn't impressed with that one. She said,
Yeah.
no, she must have not been
No,
impressed.
I mean,
Let me
like
try
my
another
next
one.
other
I don't-
wives.
I don't
Yeah.
want to do. If I get married again, I don't want to have to do the same thing. So I have a couple other ideas that I might.
Or
try.
you just pick a really good one and then you just reuse it, and then you're.
See that? I know.
it's so
The next time, like, this is amazing, and then like once you get to wife number 4, you're an expert.
So, no, so I went to a friend of mine, Jesse Craigle, and we recorded a song.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to my friend Derek, who runs the video stuff at our church, and I
remember this.
recorded a music video.
Yep.
And then I went to my friend Eric Tweed.
a lot of friends involved here.
Yeah, I went to him because his uncle owned a movie theater.
Wicked.
So, Nikki had come down from Connecticut,
I remember.
and I said, "We're gonna go see a movie." And she was like, "What movie?" And I was like,
They're little loosey goosey Baptists.
and I was like,
not GLBs.
and I was like, I
Can't
don't,
believe you remember that.
I don't even know what movie, because like the guy was like, "Yeah, I'll have it set up in the theater." And she's like, "What are we gonna see?" And I was like, "Oh, it's a surprise. I don't know." So literally, we got there.
Back then, it was
Shrek,
like,
Shrek 1.
"It's a Wonderful Life." It was
Right.
so long ago.
So we got there, and
You okay?
the previews are going on, and
I let her out. She went both.
so the previews are going on. The guy who owned the theater met me at the door, and he was like, "Hey, when you see this preview for whatever," he's like, your video will be next." And I was like, "Okay." So
What if it was a really good preview?
I don't know. So
Nah.
yeah, so she's sitting there, and she's on her phone during the previews, because who cares about previews? And I see the preview go on, and I go, "Hey, I'm gonna run to the bathroom." And she's like, "Okay." So I
You
step
went to
out.
the bathroom.
Yes.
You just talk to
So I-
yourself. You can do it, David.
So I stepped out, and I got changed, like put on like a suit jacket and all this other stuff. Got changed, and then the music video hit in the previews on the movie theater, and everybody's like, and then she's like, "What is happening right now?" And then as it ended, I walked out and I proposed in front of everybody at the movie theater. They clapped, and then we left.
He was
We
like,
didn't even
"Can
watch
we
the movie.
movie or
No,
no?"
we didn't watch the movie.
Did
We
you
just
have to
left.
pay to
empty
get in?
theater. It was just
Did you have to pay to get in there?
No, because like I said, Eric's uncle owned it, so he was
Right.
just like,
what if he's like, you're like, "Thanks, man, do me a solid," and he's like, "Whoa.
Hey, man.
no, what? I thought we had a.
Still $13.50 for one dog.
So yeah,
if the ring didn't fit, you'd have to get the movie theater butter. Just
like,
squeeze it on.
I'm at the claw machine, like trying to get one of the plastic ones.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. So it was that's the way we did it. Did that in front of everybody. People were like, "Whoa!" They were cheering me on and stuff. I was like high fiving people on
That's
our way
awesome.
out.
Awesome.
Your skill with the claw depended on if you got
My,
married that day.
My
Got
engagement,
engaged or whatever.
I knew the year before. I had said it last episode. We did that. Her family always decorates the day before Thanksgiving, the outside, like those Christmas lights or whatever. And I thought, like the first year we started dating, I'm like, this is the time
sir.
next
You
year.
should bring Kayla here.
Like I said, I will do this
reminisce in
next
it.
year. I'm going to propose next year because we just started dating like a month, and I was like, and I'll propose next year on this day. And so that day came or whatever. And so my family, I'd come up here, and my family came up, but she didn't know that. And so we went out to dinner with her family, just her immediate family. And she loves Christmas lights, but she also loves Thanksgiving fall.
Aware.
So it was Christmas lights.
I'm aware.
Because it was right after Thanksgiving. It was Thanksgiving, so it could be lights, but it wasn't freezing. But it was also Thanksgiving. It's, all the good things about that. So we went to dinner, and my family pulls up right after us. We left. They pull up, and I had bought all kind. There's a video of it somewhere. They did the whole backyard with those hanging lights, and then I set up a background. We had a fire. I set up a Christmas tree. The ring was under the Christmas tree. There was a pathway with rose petals, everything set up, and then so we're driving back. Like, I went to the bathroom right before we left the restaurant. I got the word, we're good. I told her dad we're good, so we left the restaurant. Went to the bathroom before, and I'm like,
no, dude, for real.
So we're driving back, and you can see her parents live in the wood, like back in like a development, but it's like trees, and the backyard, like you're driving down the road and you can look at like 100 yards and see
it lit up,
dude. It was like a flying saucer, like it was lit up, and I'm like, look over there! Wow, what do you?
All those lights.
What do you know? And while we're driving in, her brothers told their girlfriends, Karen's about to propose, or whatever, or get in the house. Like when we drive up, get in the house.
Now
and they're like, what? Why? And so we pull up to the house. She didn't see the lights. I don't know how she didn't see the lights, but now we're in front of the house.
This
She's
is
too busy looking at you.
By you.
This is the same house I've been to for the day of the wedding.
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
So
I'm just trying to
the
picture
backyard and everything.
Yeah, I'm just trying to picture the yard and stuff.
So we pull up, and Devin didn't get the cue. So everyone gets out of the car, and me and her linger. Like we're out of the car, but we're standing. And the dogs had run out, and Devin is playing with the dogs, and Michael is like, she's just right there in front of everyone, and I'm supposed to walk her around back, and Devin's standing there, and Michael's like, Devin, get down. And Devin's like, what? And I said, come here, okay, I gotta talk to you. I just follow me. She thinks she's in trouble for something. She's like, what'd I do? What's wrong? I'm like,
this isn't working out.
Nothing's wrong. At this point, you've got to know everyone else is running to the house to get on the back porch.
I just don't have peace about it.
Yeah, she didn't pick up anything. Everyone else was like, and it's just us out there. And so then we walked around.
We don't need a soundboard. We have.
And then I had when I turned the corner, I had a song turn on, and the whole backyard, Christmas lights, the whole dude. It was. I mean, I got those metal poles off of Amazon, like the whole backyard, and then the lights were all streamed around the whole backyard, and then it rose petals down to had little lanterns, and then I walked her down, crying. She's crying. And then a little Christmas tree. And
did she say yes?
At first I said, shut up.
She said, shut up. Yeah, but then I got on my knee. Will you marry me? She said, of course. And
that's beautiful.
It was nice. Someone videoed it, though. I want to get
Yeah, how did the video come out? Because I've learned that sometimes people don't show up in your videos.
Yeah, in our wedding video, David didn't show up.
Sorry.
I watched that video 3 times. Like, did I miss me?
Yeah, no, that video, the engagement video, Brad videoed it, but he didn't. I don't think he ever edited it.
That's beautiful. Dustin, how are you going to do it?
It's like, matter of fact, Mackenzie, will you marry me?
On the podcast.
Yeah, on the podcast.
Guest.
No, because that would turn into one of those shameful ones on the internet.
It's like, call in.
Turn off the camera.
That would be the worst way to do it.
We can edit it out.
Yeah, well, that's what it would be. Like, someone would start recording,
we just edit it out.
someone would start recording. I'd be like, hey, will you marry me? And she'd look over the camera and be like,
Dustin, after the edit, like, Dustin, you seem a little
His
choked up.
countenance is just gone.
Well, Dustin had to leave.
He's not even here.
There's a jump. He's like, I want to bring Kenzie out on the camera. The thing jumps over it. It's just 3 of us, and we're all like,
yeah.
And then, they come find me. I'm walking down 14, like,
So gospel drop.
yeah.
so,
We're going to cut this episode short, everybody.
The Lord said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee.
He that findeth a wife findeth a good thing.
he that does not
And
find
Dustin
a wife.
did not. So
Oh, I am with you always.
Do we want to go into
the Florida man? Or the topic?
I think we
topic-
should talk about anything else in the world.
Other than you hypothetically being single?
I also during the whole process, I don't know if we go to a different topic. We're at an hour. I don't know if we just cut this off right here. We can or we can do our topic, whatever. Look at the time. You guys decide what you want to do. I think we.
I see
think
a pot.
Huh?
I just see a pot.
Well, that's
Time on the
stove.
clock.
Oh,
Cameron has pot.
47.
I think that.
I mean, we don't. I don't think it's
Kidding.
necessary to go
Some
any
jokes.
further. We can, but during the whole process of buying the ring and all that stuff, it's like a sketchy time because like you have to lie to her the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, where you at? Oh, I'm buying a ring. Like, I'm
At my other
sizing it. I'm
girlfriend's
going
house.
to pick it up. I have to go pick
How
it
did
out.
how did you ask about her ring size?
That came up in conversation, just like, well, what size ring do you wear? She's like, oh, 6.5.
Okay.
But then
Hey,
I talked to her
get it.
mom. Was like,
Well,
all right, she had mentioned this. Just we were joking, whatever. But like, what size is she? Her mom told me what size ring she
I
was
don't
because her mom had
know
bought her a whole
how I
bunch of
figured
stuff.
out. I imagine she told me.
Yeah.
Well, you better.
I
keep,
had
better
literally
keep wishing.
one day I had literally made a mental note, and y'all might think this is creepy, but I was literally sitting next to her, and I, like, for the
Stole
majority
the
of that
ring
search,
right off her
no,
hand.
I eyed up her ring finger, and I had my hand on my lap, and I gauged that her ring finger was the size of my pinky, literally, because it was right there, and I was just like, I just kept looking. I'm like, it's the same size. It's the same size. And it actually was like it was the exact same size as my pinky.
Wow.
And it actually worked. Like, but the mom told me what it was. But I before I had all that figured out, I'm like, all right, it is a Bible's width apart, of course. But I was like, her
Check
ring
New Testament.
finger is the size of my pinky, and
The
it
New
actually
Testament.
was.
Yeah.
Just have like a socket.
No, just
wrench
John and Romans.
test. Like, all right, we're gonna be
I forget what
playing
you
with
called it.
socket wrenches.
A quarter,
Um,
5/8.
I want to say the
7/16.
Baptist courting gloves or dating gloves or whatever.
Three-quarter.
It's
Wow.
That's totally
good.
unrelated.
just a Bible sandwich around
Did
both
you hear
sides.
that? Harrison said have like a socket wrench test. Like, 3/4, 5/8, no, too big, half, woo, 7/16. I don't know.
What was it?
Pretty
A
good.
little metric.
Oh, you're metric.
Metric.
You're a
Okay.
12 millimeter.
Nikki
In order
had
to
a
test the wrench, you got to put your ring finger in
Yeah.
there conveniently.
Nikki's got a friend. Nikki's got a friend Josh who lives in Connecticut, and this guy, it was like it was weird. He literally walked up and he like looked at my hand and he was like, "So you're like what, 8.5?" And I was like,
I forget.
"How did you know that?" And then he was like, "Probably wear 38, pants 32," and I'm like, "This is weird,
Is
man.
like a
What?"
suit, like a tailor or what?
I don't know. I don't know how he knew it, but he literally looked at my hand and told me what my ring size was, and it was like on point.
I think
My suit
what
size?
do you wear?
This is probably an 8.
Yeah, I think I'm 8.5.
This is probably an 8.
I think I'm 8.5.
Don't take it off, dude.
Oh no, I'm already Mine's a 9 then.
Yeah, mine's either an 8, 8.5, something like that. I can't
This is
remember.
too small.
Yeah, it's probably an 8.
So that one's a 9 then.
Yeah. So the reason why is because
Don't you guys wish you'd had these?
No.
Look at them idiots.
so the reason
Single.
My
why
bank
is
account
because
says I'm good.
I don't know
I'd
if
say, wait a minute. No, my bank account just said you're doing just fine.
yeah, I don't know if the camera could pick it up, but I have skinny fingers, but the knuckles like bow
Me
out.
too.
Yeah.
Same thing.
So like if I put it's an 8, but like if I put it on, it'll stop at the
Right.
knuckle, and then I have to jam it past the
Yeah.
Said
knuckle.
my bank account just said, "Calm down, it's fine."
Calm down. It's fine.
No, but
Hey, get that video you sent me
when it came to
this morning.
Some
pastors be saying anything or whatever.
Oh,
so when it came
no.
to picking out Nikki's ring, this is neat. So I got found out because I went to the jewelry store,
Yep.
knew what her ring size was, and I was like picking out the ring. I was like, because I was like kind of through conversations
Yeah.
figuring out what she liked and stuff, and she also
like
told
a
me mostly what she
oval?
liked.
Yep.
What did she get? Oval?
No, she actually liked something. She didn't want anything creative. Like she wanted it,
Is it
like flush. It was like I think it's called a princess cut.
Yeah. That's the like. It goes like. Yes, it's like.
Yeah. Or it was like kind of squarish.
Dude, about
the
2
first
years.
one.
2 years ago, I could have told you.
You knew all the cuts.
Oh my goodness.
I knew
cut-
I knew
cut
every.
connoisseur.
I do know her ring right now. It's over 1 carat, and it's a 1. I forget what it is.
Right, so-
I could have told you everything, but
Yeah,
it's not. It's a nice ring.
I could have done it. Like I knew the cuts, the settings. I
Yes.
knew everything, and now I'm like,
I don't
ring.
remember.
It's
So-
a circle.
Yeah.
I went.
It's a symbol of our
Well, they
never
have-
ending. That's a classic go-to. Doesn't have an end or a beginning.
So I went to Zales, picked out a ring. I was like, dude, she's gonna like this one. This is the one. I knew it. The lady was like, you sure? I was like, yeah, I'm buying it. Well, Michael Shane's aunt saw me there, so she texts.
Why would she do
So she
that?
texts Michael Shane and goes, I think I just saw David at the jewelry store at Zales. So Michael Shane texts me while I'm at Zales, hey buddy, what are you doing? And I was like, how do you know? What? So I buy the ring. The very next weekend, Nikki visits from Connecticut and we're walking through the mall and she goes, I just want to walk through the jewelry store. And I'm like, all right, we can walk through there. And we go to Zales and she's looking at all the rings on display and da-da-da-da-da-da. And she sees a ring and she goes, this is like, if you were to propose, this is the perfect ring.
It was the ring.
It's the same ring I picked
Wow.
out. And the lady that was like showing Nikki the rings
Dude, that's cool.
was the lady who helped me the weekend before. So she's like going through, she's like, oh, she tells the lady, she goes, oh, I don't think it's anytime soon. I'm just kind of window shopping. And then she's like, oh, I love this ring. This is the one, da-da-da-da. And while she's looking down at the glass, the lady's behind the counter and she's looking at me and she's like,
Dude, that's a cool.
she's looking at me like,
Wow.
That's so cool.
and I was like, I'm like standing behind
Threw it to
Nikki.
the camera.
And then the lady's like, and then Nikki's like, yeah, I love this ring, da da da. And she went on and it was a little ring. And then at our 5-year anniversary, I got her an upgrade,
Awesome.
like a.
Yeah.
It's got like a
I'll
building
probably do a
horn
10-year
and-
anniversary because I spent a lot on the first one. I spent a lot on the first one, so I'm not. It won't be a 5-year. It'll be a 10-year probably that I'll get her something.
I spent as much as I could on the first one,
right.
and then the
I did
second
too.
one.
I
$87.
spent as much as I could on the first one, and then put the rest on a down payment of a house, which was a good chunk of money.
Yep, that's how that works.
Good chunk of money. So I was like, I will use this
I
for
guess
the
the house is more important.
Yeah, I mean it was a good chunk, but
So, yeah.
She could be
I
homeless,
was.
but she could have a really nice rock.
She has a nice house and a nice rock. So,
So yeah, our 5-year anniversary, I got her just like a rock,
yeah.
Yeah.
thick.
Thick.
You got an engraving on the band. It's a flag.
Harrison, play that video for us.
All right, I think I'm connected.
Nope.
No.
All right, let's I got it.
Try and hook it up.
Am I connected? Ah, goodness. Bluetooth.
If you-
It says I'm connected.
All right. Yeah, you are. You are now. You are.
Yeah.
All right. Give
All right,
us, give us
everyone,
some
now
preface
listen
for what
up,
this is.
okay?
All right,
If
so
you're 22 or
this
three.
is.
and you're still
It says that one pastor that gives whack dating advice as far as people like.
Well, you can't even get through the.
not okay, if you are 22 or 23 and you're still single, you're not married like you should be. Guess what, guys? Guess what? There is still hope for you. Woo, yeah. That's right. Come on. That's right. There's still hope for you. Come on.
That's so good.
And is the clock ticking? Yes. And are you way behind? Yes. And are you going to have to settle very soon? Yes.
Yo.
But guys, there's still hope for that dating life of yours, okay? For real. I mean, it's not looking the best, but there's still hope. I think there might be someone out there for you. But come on. Isn't that good? All right, everyone, now listen up,
It
okay?
says if you're over 24, it's time to settle. Well,
That's rough, bro.
couldn't,
That's
it
so
said
funny.
it couldn't be me though. I've been married since I was 17. Do you want to show that? There's a Hallmark video too. I know it's super.
I didn't want to. Oh my god.
This was the Hallmark video from
I saw this
same
one. This
people.
one's funny. Oh,
Our
man.
next thing will have to be throwing it up.
Back in my small home. Wow.
This is it, ready?
Yeah.
This is the every Hallmark Christmas movie ever.
To be a hot. Wow. Finally back in my small hometown for the first time in years since I moved to the big city to be a hotshot lawyer at my boyfriend's law firm. This place hasn't changed a bit. I better hurry up and sign those power of attorney documents for my dementia-ridden father so I can get back to the big city to make partner at my law firm. Steven? Hey, Chelsea, it's me, Steven, your old flame from when you used to live in this small town. I never made it out to the big city like you did. I've got a huge heart, so I took over my grandfather's Christmas tree business when he was unable to keep it going. I ended up getting married and having 2 beautiful daughters, but my wife passed away with complications due to cancer, so over the past couple of years, I've just been a single dad. Wow, Steven, you've gotten conveniently way more attractive, and what a coincidence that you're single now, but I've got a committed boyfriend back at my law firm in the big city, and he's calling me right now. What's up, Chels? It's me, your D-bag lawyer boyfriend from the big city. I'm going to say something completely out of character that justifies you cheating on me with your old hometown flame later in the movie. Chelsea, you were never going to make partner at this law firm. Oh my gosh, Steven, that was my boyfriend. He said I was never going to make partner at the law firm. I'm starting to realize that maybe there's more to life than living in the big city and being a hotshot lawyer. Like family.
Oh.
Steven, would you and your daughters want to go pick out a Christmas tree together? Chelsea, even though this movie's time frame is like 2 days, my daughters have already started looking at you as their new mother figure. What do you say we go pick out Christmas trees as a family for the rest of your life? Wow.
He said, even though the time frame of this movie is set for only 2 days, my daughters are starting to be looking at you as their mother figure. It's so true. There cannot be a Hallmark movie that is over 2 weeks away from Christmas. It's always 2 weeks away or less, or like a week or a few days, always without fail.
They, revisit each other, then they fall in love, and then the next day they're married.
Absolutely,
they're wed. They become
just in
one
time for Christmas.
Yep. And then right after they get divorced because they gave crappy gifts.
That's what happens.
They get divorced because they realized, wait a minute, we just hopped into a relationship that quick.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we're done.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about the topic we were going to, but
No, after we spent so much time trying to pick one.
Yeah, but I think it was good.
I don't even remember. I remember now.
The name of this is going to be "Will You Marry Me?" And
everybody's gonna think that Dustin's proposing on the podcast.
I'm gonna I'll tell them before. I'll tell her he's not proposing, so don't be nervous. But people are going to listen,
and it'll be funny.
Clickbait.
Yeah.
Got him.
All right. Yo. So I guess we're good, man.
Now you get a gospel drop, Bride of Christ.
I want to crown him. I want a jewel in my crown.
Is he doing the gospel?
Yeah. This is fresh on my mind because we were talking about it last night in church. The Bible says in Romans chapter number 3, we'll start in verse number 22. It says, even the righteousness of God, which is by faith of Jesus Christ unto all and upon all them that believe, for there is no difference. Verse 23, it says, for all have sinned and come short of the glory of God, being justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is in Christ Jesus, whom God set forth to be a propitiation through faith in his blood to declare his righteousness for the remission of sins that are past through the forbearance of God. To declare, I say, at this time his righteousness, that he might be just and the justifier of him which believeth in Jesus. The Bible said, for all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. It can't be done by works. You can't work your way into heaven. For all have sinned and come short. So if the glory of if the standard's up here, every single one of us falls down here.
Right.
But God, it says that he's the just and the justifier, which means that he fulfilled the law and he made it so that you could be justified. So even though we're down here, God sees us up here.
Amen.
And then to go on, it says, where is boasting then? It is excluded. By what law? Of works? Nay, but by the law of faith. Therefore we conclude that a man is justified by faith without the deeds of the law. So you can't work your way to heaven. You can't be good enough to make it. None of us can. But Jesus could, and he did. And he offers the gift of salvation through grace, grace by faith, and he offers it freely. So if you have any questions about that, please email in. One of us would love to explain that to you, and make sure that you can get that settled today. Whenever you're hearing it.
Preaching. He's fired up. All right, guys, that does it for us here on episode 28 of the Calm Down It's Fine podcast. Have a great week. We love you. No matter what's happening, no matter what's going on in your life, remember to calm down.
It's fine.
Peace.
True love.